I'm having trouble
Sure.
picking mine up because mine's like
No
automatically on my Google Chrome. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm at Zoom,
Okay,
right?
recording.
All right. So we're all set. Good morning, everybody. My name is Frank Ariola. I'm the CEO of Menhalom LLC.
Oh,
My
Frank,
part.
they're still coming in. They're still coming in.
Okay.
Okay, let's
So,
just maybe just another 1-2 minutes.
All right.
We have right now people. We are at 50 right now.
50. Okay, very good.
Yes. Okay, half a day, folks. Thanks for joining us for our class today. And today is Tuesday, July 28th. And once again, Menhalom has accommodated us for another valuable training for everybody. Thank you all very much for joining this training. Frank and Ryan, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Peggy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Frank Ariola. I'm the CEO of Menhalom LLC. And my partner in this endeavor is Mr. Ryan Mummert from Title Guarantee. This morning, I will provide a PowerPoint presentation, which I'll share from my screen. I'll go through it to give you kind of a general overview and a background, at which point then I will turn it over to Ryan Mummert, who will go through the live demonstration of the Guam Realtor Property Research, also known as GRPR. Okay. At the end of, I guess maybe at the end of my presentation, I'll take some questions and answers, and then I'm sure most of your Q&A will be directed towards Ryan as he goes to the live demo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let me see, how do I do this? I share my screen, right? Yeah, share screen. Yeah, let me share my screen. I'll go here, share this one here, and then I'll present. All right. Ryan, can you see my screen?
Let's see.
I shared, Peggy.
Yes, I can see your screen.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So just a little background about this particular project. Our company has been working closely with the Guam Association of Realtors, their board of directors, as well as their IT task force to launch this particular project and this product for the benefit of the Guam Association of Realtors. It's been a number of years in the works, and there's a lot of really good things that we're working with the GAR to provide additional services on this particular application. We think it's going to be a great project for brokers and agents alike, as well as associate and affiliate members. So without further ado, I'm going to go through what my presentation is going to look like. We'll identify through screenshots what the login and registration is going to look like. We'll also touch on layers and Zoom features, and then we'll touch on search engine and the map toolbar options, which really gives you the functionality of what we call our base program here. So login and registration. All members of the Guam Association of Realtors can access this particular product or application through your web browser on your laptop, desktop, iPad, and certainly your browser off your smartphone. You simply go to guamrealtors.com, identified by this particular website. And when you go there, you click on the login component to the upper right corner, okay? Upon login, you will get this particular screen, which is logging into your members dashboard. I'm sure many of you have seen this, where you would input, of course, your username, your password, and then answer the math question. Once you've done that, then you click on the login to members dashboard. You'll get into your dashboard. Now, of course, as many of you know, your username and password are provided initially by the GAR office, and then at which point you can change it based on your particular requirements. Next slide. Once you get onto your members dashboard, you'll be receiving with it access to Guam Realtor Property Research. So all you do is simply click on this particular box, or this gold box in this case. You click on that, and what will happen is you will be directed to the GRPR application. And this application will look like this. Your welcome screen will look like this. And all you would do is simply click on the word map, and that'll take you to the map. And Ryan, when he does his live demo, will demonstrate how that goes through. Now I'm going to touch on the layers and the zoom features. And these, if you look at the application, you kind of look at it as, let's say, Google Earth or Google Maps as a base foundation. And then we've added all these layers of databases of different sorts of information that sits right on top of that Google map, as an example. What I'm going to go through are some of the layers that we've included and how it is integrated with this particular application. In addition, we'll touch on some of those zoom features as well to help you kind of guide you along the application. When you type into your, let me see. When you type into the map, you're going to be greeted with this opening page within the application. And when we're looking at your particular layers, if you look on your upper right-hand corner, you'll see this blue icon. That icon is your layers icon. And when you take your mouse and you hover over it, you get this particular overlay. And with this layers tool, you can personalize your individual map. You can pick which geographical layers you want to see on your individual map. So things like your land parcels, those will be blue lines that'll show the boundaries of each particular land parcel. The rivers zone, you can click that on or off, and it'll show the rivers. Condo points, location points, address points, the streets. You can click those all on and off depending on what you want to, how you want to make your map look like. In addition to that, you can also choose the different base maps. We have a satellite base map. We also have a municipality base map, as well as a street map. So these are the things that we can provide you, so it'll give your map a certain look and feel that you like. Now, I would also like to, at this point, mention to you that the further away you are from the map, you're not going to see much of anything. And that's just so that these layers take up space within our server. And so when you start to zoom in, then those layers that you've identified here on this overlay, then those layers will start to come in to appear as you zoom in. Okay, so we'll move on to the next component. On this project here, this target mark, this is a target icon, which if you click on that within your browser, it'll take you directly to where your smartphone, your iMac, or your desktop or your laptop, where that is located from a GIS component. So if you're out showing a piece of property anywhere on the island, and you're using your browser on your phone, you click that target, it'll take you to that general area. Now just know that your phone will have specific locations that it can zoom in to where you're at. All right. The zoom, the plus or minus, I'm sure you're all familiar with this. To zoom in, you click and hold on the plus sign, and that'll take you in closer to the map. And then the closer you get, obviously, more layers will start to reveal themselves as you zoom in. The exact opposite is true as well. When you want to zoom out, you hit the minus icon to zoom out of the map. It's kind of straightforward. All right. Search engine and map toolbar options. When we put this project together, there was an initial iteration where there was no search engine available. It was simply, kind of hover over a certain area, zoom into a map where you think certain location is, and you just kind of click on, and certain information will come on that particular parcel. But with the search engine, we've allowed different variables that you can type into the search bar and search for certain areas. Example, upper right-hand corner. It's called a Find As You Type search bar. You can use that engine to type in the legal lot description, the street address, or even a landmark. Ryan will go through in detail the legal lot description, but just generally speaking, the more accurate and the more information you have on the legal lot description, the faster our search engine will provide 10 to 20 options of what's available out there. And let me just, okay, so as an example, and in addition, let me go back to this. On the street address, I want to make a note of that. As you know, Guam street address, there are many gaps within that particular database. Department of Public Works is responsible to put the street addresses together with the Mayor's Council of Guam. I would like to say that's, without question, a work in progress, which our organization is working to fill in a lot of gaps. And we'll provide you in today's training certain ways how to get around those gaps to use street addresses. And then, of course, the landmarks, I'll demonstrate that to you in a second. All right, so legal lot description. If you type in M13T933, what happens is our system will provide, in this first area, you'll see the first 10 options that are closest to the municipality 13, track 933. So it'll give you block 5, lot 6-R1 as an option. And then I'll just kind of break it down along the way. In the live version, you'll be able to scroll up and down this thing to give you, this is your first 10. You can scroll down to the next 10, all right? So variations by choice will then pop up. Then once you get that right one that you're looking for, you simply click on that. So you're looking at M13, track 933, block 5, lot 6-R1. If you click on that, this particular window will pop up on your screen. Now, this window here provides, obviously, the legal lot description here. It'll provide the owner, the registered owner's name, together with this information. The area in square meters, the zoning, although it is not here because there was a gap there, we would usually provide the zoning in this area. The assessed tax improvement value, which is, of course, the building, and then the assessed tax land value here in this corner, in this area. Now, please bear in mind that this information is something that we've gleaned, taken out of the Department of Revenue and Taxation's most current tax rule, okay? And the GAR Board of Directors presses us to make sure that we have the most updated information. I can assure you that we're always looking to provide the GAR and this GRPR package with the most updated information, okay? Let's see. Okay, so that's how you get the information using the search bar and the legal lot description. Okay, now by street address. Again, there's a caveat here that the information, there's gaps within the database, but we are working very, very closely with various stakeholders to improve, to fill in those gaps so that when you are able to type in all the addresses, that they'll pop up accordingly. So in this case, we're going to look for 129 Paris Loop. Okay, so again, as you type in the 129 number, you're going to get a number of different options. You can see here in the legal lot description, there's a 129 here, but it's important, it is 129 in terms of these particular street addresses. So what I'm looking for is 129 Paris Loop in Barrigada. So what I would do there is click on that particular point or example, and then notice that the system will automatically zoom into the address location on the map. 129 Paris Loop, Barrigada, with the latitude and longitude coordinates within that particular window. And it'll zoom right on top of that particular building that holds that particular address. Now, note that the gaps that we're trying to fill here is that this address is tied into this latitude, longitude coordinate or GPS information, okay? Now, once we get that location, to get information on this area, because we want to look for the size of the lot, you know, what is the zoning, etc. We use the identify tool, which again is on the upper right-hand corner. This tool right here, I can hope you guys can all see my mouse here. This is what we call the toolbar, and we would click on this I icon, which I stands for identify tool. I click on that bad boy, and what pops up now is going to be this box, identify box. So we just pick the parcel of the point. We click that on. We click the lot that we found on the search bar, and up pops this window that you all have seen before. It'll provide the legal lot description, the owner's name and address, the area, the zoning, of course, the building improvement value, and the tax land value, assessed tax land value here. And really, again, Ryan will go through on a live demo on how to get to this. And really the best thing to do is to, for those who haven't worked on it yet, just get in on this project and just start playing around with it. And the more you use it, the more familiar you'll get with the idiosyncrasies of how to navigate this particular application. All right. As we mentioned here, and then we click on the point, you'll get additional information, a different window which shows essentially the same information of the land area, the land use zone, the neighborhood, municipality, building, and the land parcels. Again, you'll be able to play around with this a little bit more as we move along. Okay. Now, search by street address. So I'm looking here for 502 Fairway Drive. What's going to happen is going to show no matches found. Okay, so now what do we do? What we do is now we just type in the name of the street. And when we do that, we're going to get various addresses that are already inputted with the same street address. So what I would do now is I would pick the closest address to what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for 502 Fairway Drive, I simply click on 504 Fairway Drive, and instantly the system will take me to 504 Fairway Drive, Jotnia. Now, once I get to the general vicinity, now I say, okay, now I know the location. So 502 is over here. I simply go to the identify tool again, click on that, go to the 502 point, click on that, and then up pops the information that you'll be looking for. Right, the municipalities in, and this land parcel tab, which shows what municipality you're in, the legal lot description, fiscal year, the neighborhood, the land area, the land use zone, of course, the tax land value, assessed land value, as well as the assessed improvement value. Again, the best way really is to work through this and get used to it in terms of how the idiosyncrasy of this particular application. Okay, search by landmark. We're pleased to include landmarks via shopping centers, churches, schools, government agencies. And so that if you're not exactly sure where the location you're looking for, you just type in shopping and these particular first 10 will pop up. You can scroll down for additional 10. If you're looking for somewhere in the Micronesia Mall area, then you click on the Micronesia Mall area and you'll zoom right into the lat longe of the address of the Micronesia Mall, the shopping area. Okay, and so if the building or the facility is close by, let's say across the street here on the corner, then you simply go to that particular area, click on the identify icon, click on the property, and you'll find the information that you're looking for. Again, that's just kind of a quick review of how to find and search for lots. And just know that this particular PowerPoint presentation is also on your GAR website, together with a video, which essentially goes through this entire process or this presentation I've gone through, so that you can look at it when you're online and when you're not in the training class any longer. Okay, now let's go through the search tool. This is one which is pretty It has quite a number of information where you submit attributes and variables. So if you're looking for things like agricultural zone, 10,000 square meters plus, you would type that into these particular attributes. And when you hit the enter, the search, all agricultural zones greater than 10,000 square meters would pop up on this particular search component under the search tool. Okay. Measurement tool. This measurement tool you can use to determine not only the area, but as well also the perimeter of a lot or combination of lots. And the way you do that is you identify the area you're looking for. Let's say we were looking at these 4 residential lots. I think this is in Dedido, right? What you would do is type on the measurement tool, click on that. You click on one corner, you drag to the next corner, you click the second time, go to the third corner, click that, and the last corner, you double click. What that would do is you would have then drawn, the system will have drawn for you a rectangle to cover these 4 lots, and you were able to get the area in these particular denominations, right? Meter, feet, square, or acre, hectare, et cetera, et cetera. In addition, it would also provide a perimeter length in these particular kilometer, mile, feet, or meters of this particular area, these 4 lots. You can do it for singular lots. You can do it for multiple lots. So that we find that to be a pretty useful tool. Map tool. This is, again, you can click on that. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can go backward or forward to the pages of how you've gone through into the map, as opposed to using your browser to go forward or backward. This forward or backward will take you to the map previously, backward, or what you've done before, the forward map. Annotation. You were able to put annotations on a particular area. It's basically like a Post-it note, an electronic Post-it note, where you would type in whatever style you like, a polygon, in this case it's a star, right? You name it. It could be the name of a village, the name of a subdivision, it could be the name of an agent. You type in the description, and when you put save, that notation will save on your particular, on your map, so that when you search for those locations, it'll pop up on your particular system. The bookmark. This is something, it's like on your web browser, when you want to bookmark a location, again, a development, your home office, your home, a new project, an old project, you can bookmark it so that wherever you're at within the map, searching and looking for things, you click on bookmark tool. If it's Ironwood Estates here in this particular example, if you click on that, the system will take you directly and immediately to the Ironwood Estates Phase 2 project. Okay, that's your bookmark component. We find that very useful when you, of course, when you guys are working on multiple different developments or multiple properties. You'll be able to use the bookmark to go back and forth and toggle between various locations. Identify bar, identify tool. We went through this in the previous slide, and you can pick through different types. You can either identify through a parcel, a point on the map, if you don't know the parcel, and a good one here is the polygon. The polygon will be able to provide you multiple locations. Let me just forward if I don't have that. And the polygon, you could click on, and remember, if you click on polygon, if I were to say click on, let's say this lot, drive down here to here to here to here, and all these lots that you see my mouse scrolling on, all these lots and all the information on these lots would pop up in a window down the bottom here. And Brian will show you that in the live demonstration. Okay, and that's the identify tool. Again, you get the legal lot description. Oops, I went backwards. Sorry, my mouse is a little sensitive here. You have the legal lot description, owner's name, etc., as you've seen before. Okay. So that's the identify tool. The map coordinate tool, in this area, if you know the latitude and longitude of the location, you simply plug that in and you hit zoom and it'll go directly to that particular lot with that particular latitude and longitude. Okay. That would conclude my PowerPoint presentation here in this area. I can take questions if that's something. Let me see, how do I stop the share? I can take questions. Otherwise, I would turn it over to Ryan. Are you ready to go? Ryan.
Hey, Frank, I'm still working through some access issues. So maybe just a few questions.
Okay.
Our token for logging in isn't working right now.
Okay, so I can roll with mine. Let me see. Okay, so let me go back to the Zoom component. Let me share my screen again, and so you'll see me go through the whole thing. Okay. All right. So okay, I'm screening myself. Okay, so you can see I'm on Google Chrome, right? I type in my GuamRealtors.com. Ryan, you can see mine. Can you see mine?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I pop up my GuamRealtors.com, and here's where I'm at. I would simply log in, access my member dashboard right here on this particular blue box. Simply click on that. I think I'm already checked in, right? So access on this gold box here, it says access GRPR, the Guam Realtor Property Research. So if I just click on that bad boy, I'm headed right to the GRPR area. Okay, just make sure I got this squared away. Okay. All right. So all I would do, as I mentioned in the slide presentation, is click on this map here, right? So I click on that. And now I'm here at the opening page. So just to kind of quickly review what I went through with the slide presentation, let's go over the icon, right? Remember that blue layer right here? So if I just take my mouse, you can see my mouse rolling here. If I just simply hover over the blue icon, now I've got my overlays. And Ryan, feel free to jump in anytime, okay?
Okay, actually, I'll take over from here.
Okay, and I'll just act as your, okay, go.
Sure. Actually, I'm live now, so let's see.
Okay, so you're gonna share your screen?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop mine.
Okay, you can see mine, right?
That's you? Okay.
Yeah, that's me. Okay. Okay, great. So here we are in the map overlay, right? And like Frank mentioned in the initial screen of the PowerPoint, the first place you want to go is here, right? What I like to do, so just to go through, these are the different layers that are available to you, right? You have your land parcel layer, your river zone, condo points, location, address points, street, poly street map, building, and then Guam municipalities, which breaks down by, essentially villages, right? And there's flood zone. So those are the overlays, right? And the overlays are pushed over different types of maps. So you have your municipality map, which you're seeing now by default. And then your OSM map, which basically references, it's a combination of like a street map and has references to landmarks and different types of buildings. And if you zoom in a little bit, you'll see there's the satellite map pops up, where you can see the satellite layer, where it has all like this is actually a pretty recent satellite image of the island. And let's see, and then there's of course just a basic street map. Let's see that pop up in a second. And what you'll find is kind of more effective is I like to turn off the layers that I don't need right away. And, you know, primarily you're going to be using the land parcel layer and most likely the satellite map, right? So when you're at this level, you don't really see all the information on the map, but you'll see as you zoom in, the layers will begin to populate. And see, when we get into this level, that's where we start to see the land parcels kind of start to pop up. Now, as you see this, remember, this is a graphic representation of land data, right? And it's to be used for planning purposes. I wouldn't say these are to scale, right? So if you come in here and you see, oh, it looks like this easement doesn't follow the true path. Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but just looking at the map isn't like a guarantee, right? Whereas where you look at something like this, okay, maybe you got a problem here, right? Okay, maybe the way they're accessing this lot, if they don't own this lot in the front, isn't the true way to access the property, right? So it's a way to kind of look at things, but remember the information is not the layers aren't to scale. It's just for a graphical representation for reference purposes, right? And planning. And then also the information is deemed reliable but not guaranteed, right? We're only subject to what the record was, I think, as of, I want to say around 2016, 2017. So you'll see lots in here represented that may have been subdivided or changed in the interim. So if you see a conflict on a document that you're working with on the transaction side or the research side, don't panic. I think that's just where you want to get a little bit more in depth in your research, right? And then we're about to launch a tool where you can actually, well, it's actually already here, but you can actually flag it so we can reconcile it, right? And it'll ask you to upload some evidence of the error, meaning like a property map where you show the property has been subdivided recently, or just ask you to kind of type in kind of what the issue is so we can research it on our own. But as you can see, as you get in this layer, you have a pretty good representation of, okay, what the legal descriptions are, which is very important, right? And then where the property boundaries are, and then kind of where everything kind of runs, right, relative to the satellite map. And you'll see how the overlay works with, say, a different layer, right? So let's say I want to look at flood zones here. Not a good example because there's no flood zones in this area generally, at least that are indicated on the map. That would be kind of more apt on the coast. Let's see, river zone. Let's see if there's any rivers here. But as you slowly turn on the layers, you know, more information will kind of show itself.
Try the building one, Ryan. The building one.
Yeah. So the building. So this is kind of like, it shows the outline of buildings on the property and kind of how they're supposed. It's kind of a little better representation than the satellite map, right? You kind of see where the runs are. But remember, it's not a good indication of like setback violations or anything like that. It's just for reference purposes. Okay. But if you wanted to see kind of where the municipalities ran, you could also do that, and it'll layer that data on top of it. There it is. Yeah. Let's zoom out a little for the municipality layers, but you see the boundaries in as you saw them before. Okay, so I'll go back to the satellite and zoom in. So if you wanted to go to a specific place on the map, like let's say you're looking at another mapping application, you can get the coordinates that you run by essentially running your mouse cursor over the map in the mapping application, or setting a pin if you have a pin. And you can take that pin and you can enter it into the latitude and longitude box, and it'll go directly to that site when you click zoom, right? If you wanted to kind of show where you are, you click on this, and you have to allow it to know your location. And you'll see here I am. Maybe I'm not quite in the water, but I'm in the general area. But the one feature that you really are going to use the most of the time is the identify feature, or the info feature, right? Because this is where it really says, this is the power of GRPR, right? Because from a prospecting standpoint, you want to know who these owners are. What's going to happen is your customer is going to call you, and they're going to be like, hey, who owns this property on the corner of Skinner Plaza? So say, well, I don't know, but let me look at GRPR. And you click point, and you'll see the little dot here, kind of the floating white dot, and you put it over the property that you're interested in. And there you go, right? So in every case, in some cases, the owner is not identified. The information in our system is based on the most recent tax roll. So you'll find kind of blind spots where at Rev and Tax, maybe the property is not properly abstracted. So we'll show as John Doe. But see, I click on the Bank of Guam building, it says right there, Bank of Guam, and it gives you the address. It also gives you the full legal description here. Right here is a survey plan, which is the property map, which when you're working with the escrow company, you want a property map. This is helpful. If you just say, hey, can I get 341 FY83? That tells me what I need to know to go to the land management and request the map. You can also do that for yourself, but why do that, right? You know, just ask us in the title industry. You know, I'll help you with this, a title guarantee if you need. Just send me a quick message with this survey plan information, and we can pull a property map for you. It also has the area, right? The zoning. And remember, this is just based on the information we have. Don't take this as 100% like validated, right? You're going to want to do your own zoning verification on this, and I can show you how to do that as well. It also has assessed tax land value, and then the assessed tax improvement value. So, you know, Rev and Tax assesses land and buildings at different rates. So when they break down the value, it's the combination of the two, right? So for this case, they don't have the land value broken down, but they have the value of the improvements broken down. So land management assesses the Bank of Guam building at about $16 million. That's their assessed rate. Now, if you want to do a larger area, then you would click polygon, right? And then you can identify by clicking a section that you want properties identified in, right? And then at the end, you just double click and it processes it, and then you'll see there's a whole list of, let's see if I can, of information for all the property owners on that block, right? And where this is helpful is, okay, let's say let's say I listed this house on the corner, right? And I wanted to reach out to all the adjacent owners and let them know through like a mailer that I've just listed this property. Or you can go through this, you can copy all this information, and you could create your own spreadsheet and do a mail merge, or you could research who the owners are and you can connect to them separately, or you can say, hey, I know Greg Camacho or Greg Sablon. Let me just give them a call, right? And there are different strategies that can work with you on as to how to find these owners kind of offline, right? But that's one of the main things you're going to want to do, right? You're going to want to prospect. And another thing you can do too is like, okay, you see an expired listing in MLS, right? Oh, I want to chase that listing. Who's the owner, right? Well, then you would go and you would identify where the property is, or I'll show you this later. You can just type in the legal description, like let's say M5. Let's say M5 tract 52103 lot 6, right? You can search it there. It'll instantly go to the area on the map where that is, show you all the information, and say, oh, okay, this is Ursula Cook. So I'll call her and I'll see if she wants to list the property with me, right? And that you'll find is very handy. There's also the parcel search. And that's the way to get information displayed in this way, right? If you wanted to see it kind of pop out on the side, you click parcel, you identify the parcel, and it'll identify it in a different screen for you. But all the same information. Any questions so far? Okay, Jean, you're asking, when was the latest assessment of these properties, improvement and land value? Frank, you know what the last assessment date is? I believe it's I think it's the 2019 tax roll.
Yes, sir, right, that's correct. 2019.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then Sheila, you're asking if the owner's name shows for every piece of property. If it's listed on the tax roll, then it does. If it's not, then it won't. And remember, this is a complicated issue, right? The person who's paying the property tax bill isn't necessarily the owner. Okay, it's a good sense that they have something to do with the property, or else why are they paying the property tax bill? So I don't think it's a waste of time to reach out to them. In fact, it's probably the closest thing to the owner's information that you're going to get. We're working towards providing validated owner information, but again, we're subject to the information that's available publicly, but it's a project that we have going on to improve the service, right? For Pat, you're asking about the coordinates. So for the coordinates, if you look at the lower left-hand corner of the screen here, when you're hovering over the thing, if you look under the scale, you'll see the latitude and longitude of the property. So if you wanted to kind of approximate where the coordinates of the corners are, remember this is not to scale, right? You can reasonably do that. Let's see. And then how do you submit corrections? Let's see. Frank, is that live on the system yet?
No, it isn't, Ryan. That's still on the beta site, but we should be moving that into the live version in a week or two.
Okay, great. Okay, and then we showed the bookmark, right? Frank demonstrated that. So we wanted to do a bookmark. Let's say we're going to identify this property as property to be solicited. Let's save that there. So it's there, it's tagged for this, and you can reference it back later by just clicking on the link. Also, we have some bookmarks kind of typed in, or annotations, right? So we can click a polygon and we can identify an area that we want to kind of tag for research. Or a good example for this is like, let's say you wanted to prospect an EPAN, and EPAN's not like delineated. You can set aside a certain area. Sorry, polygon. And then you prospecting. delineates that area, and you can always reference it by, let's see. You can just click and it goes back to the areas where you've kind of identified. Let's see. Okay. So there's also this map tool where you can use this to pan and zoom. And get in a little bit closer. You can do this with your mouse, but you can use it with this tool as well. And then there's an advanced search tool, right? And this is where you can do interesting things, right? So you can say, okay, let's select land area as an example. And you want to look for land area greater to or equal to 10,000 square meters. And add another. And we'll search. The search tool is not working today, I'm sorry. But but the idea is, let's say you say land area greater than or equal to 10,000 square meters and less than or equal to 20,000 square meters. And then you can also add other delimiters like in the municipality of Talapofo or in the municipality of Talapofo, Sinahanya, Menhalom, right? And you click search and it'll give you a list of potential properties that you can then prospect and see kind of where they are, and you can identify the owners and start reaching out to them. And it gives you an idea of kind of what's available. If you're looking for vacant land, you can easily see with the building layers what's, you know, if there are buildings on the property or if it's raw land. Hopefully later on down the road, we'll be able to identify that to add another limiter. But just in the tools that you have right now, I think you have a lot to work with to kind of get you going. Any questions now? Yes, Deanna, for the bookmarks, only you can see them. Those are your personal bookmarks. And then Frank, Deanna's asking when she's on the site with her phone, she needs the geocode numbers. Are you talking about your coordinates?
I think for Deanna's question is when I'm on the site using my phone, I need the geocode numbers, and this GRPR will show where it is. Actually, if you're on the site, Deanna, and you have your phone with you, if you go to that right corner area where that target location is, if you click on that, it'll zoom exactly to where you're at on your web browser on your smartphone.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I can talk to you about how to use this in conjunction with your title company, right? So if you want us to verify an owner, right, and you're prospecting a property, you can just give me the legal description and you can send it to me, and you can ask me if the information provided on GRPR is correct, and we can just run a quick reference and verify that and send it back to you. If not, we can always send you the most recent deed of record, and you can extract the information from that, right? Because usually that's the current owner, and you'll get owner's address. There are other strategies you can use. I mean, obviously, a lot of times you can run these names through your Facebook, right? And see if you have any mutual connections. You can run them through Google. That always helps. There are a lot of different sites online where you can find out who people are. And just by the process of elimination, you know, the Guam phone book also works great with some of these properties, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes you're just going to be beholden to the address. You want to verify the address and send them a postcard, right? Send them a letter just saying, hey, you know, my name is so-and-so with Remax, and I have a customer interested in your property. Would you be interested in listing with me, right? And then you just have to maintain that contact and hope they're going to respond to your email. Or you can find people that you think are related to them on like Facebook and reach out to them indirectly and kind of like connect in that way, right? But you're still going to have to rely on your networks. And then a lot of times at the end of the day, you just got to go old fashioned and just go knock on the door, right? If it's a house, just go to the house and knock on the door and say, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so, right? Or is that the owner of the property, or can you tell me more? But at least when you're doing that, you're not going in blind. You're walking in, you're armed with some information. You know the lot size, you kind of have a reasonable expectation of who you need to be talking to, right? You know if the person that you're talking to at the door is a tenant or potentially the owner, right? Without having to be too prying and have to ask, are you the owner of the house, right? When you first pop up, you can say, I'm just looking for Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, and just go from there, right? And that's kind of a little bit more disarming than just going in and kind of fishing for information at the door. Okay. Let's see. And so with that, I think I pretty much covered everything. So I'll just open it up to questions if anybody has any more questions. Is everyone muted?
Ryan, everyone is muted, so
Okay.
attendees can type in their questions in the Q&A icon, using the Q&A icon. So if questions were already addressed, that were already entered there, that should be all the questions at this time, unless either yourself or Frank would like to provide any additional information, updates, what to look forward to, and things like that.
Well, so I guess what we're working on right now is we're working on providing verified owner information, right? I think that's one of the main things we want to achieve here. We want to be able to click on a property and actually know who the owner is. We want to be able to provide verified zoning information, although I don't think that's going to happen in the immediate future. That's something we can work towards, right? But that's not information that's not information that's always readily available. Even if we went to land management and asked for a specific property just for them to generate it, sometimes there's a 10-day turnaround. So, you know, some of the issues that we're facing, again, is the availability of the information. But we do have a good database where we're pulling all the information that we have from, and it's better than anything available right now. And again, working with the information that you have here in conjunction with your favorite title company, or, you know, like I said, I'm willing to help you with any issues on the site or helping you research on the site. So just feel free to reach out to me directly. And then we're going to have the property, the property update box, right? I think it's add a missing place is what we're going to call it. And that'll be available to you soon. And then hopefully down the road, we're going to add more services that kind of are in line with identifying owners, prospecting, and showing more information. One of the layers that we're trying to add as well is topography. I know that'll really help. So we're trying to, I think that's one of the layers that we're looking to update in the near future. Yeah, exactly, Pat. You do. That's what I encourage you. Pat basically said you just need to play with it, and it'll get easier to understand it. And it's going to be a conversation, right? And that's why I'm more than willing to work with any of you, a group of you, like one of you. Just call me, right? And I'll work with you in kind of establishing how to use the system, how to leverage it, how to make it worth your while, right? And it is. just being on there and knowing the property information, that in itself is value. But I know I use this tool as a real estate agent. There was a version of this available before, right? And I used to use it as a real estate agent to my own advantage. And I was very successful in identifying property owners and finding listings and being informed using the application. I think you can do the same. So I have like real practical experience where I can really show you how to leverage the system and how to make it how to make it make money for you, right? So again, feel free to reach out to Frank or I. You know, if you ever need any help with it, it's no problem. You know where to find me. I'm over at Title Guarantee, so I'm all. You can always WhatsApp me, and I'm happy to help whenever I can. Will we add deeds and legal maps? Yes, that's something we're working towards, but again, it's just like there's a little bit of a challenge to that. Like we have an inventory of them, right? But there is a cost involved, right? And land management, we need to coordinate with them to be able to access those documents and provide them, right? But we do have a stockpile of maps that we do plan to add on the system at a certain point, but that's kind of further down the road, right? I think right now we're just focusing more on like, I think we're focusing more on like verified owners. That will be kind of the next thing that we're working towards. And once we have that, we'll be able to start adding in some of the underlying things like okay, give me the most current lien, and then also give me the last deed of record, right? And give me a property map. I think those three things we should be able to give you, if not the actual document, like a profile on those documents that exist. So then you can say, hey, can I get doc number 88531 and FY 381 FY 82 and this, and then the communication with your title company will be that much smoother, and we can provide you the maps that you need. And that's something that we do anyway at Title Guarantee, is we provide property maps and provide those kinds of services, just notwithstanding anything with GRPR. So we can always help you in that regard. Okay. If anyone has any more questions, I'll give it another few seconds. But if not,
Ryan?
Again, like I said, yes.
Yes, I wanted to just, coming from your Menhalom, I'd like to just give reassurance to the members in reference to any issues that they might have with regards to any technical difficulties, and how you would like and prefer that they communicate these issues and concerns that they might have.
Well, I think right now there is it's on the GRPR website, right, Frank?
Yes, on the GRPR web, actually on the GAR website.
GAR website.
There's a like a troubleshooting box that's on the dashboard actually, and I think Lewis, one of the agents, kind of sidebarred me about the issues that you're bringing up, Peggy. For the record, currently the GRPR is up and it's running well. If there is an issue of accessing the GRPR, then typically that would lie within the credentials provided by the GAR to the broker or to the agent. And we've seen that in 99.9% of the issues or the challenge of getting in, they have to lock down that credential component. Because our system is up and running, it's running fine. The security transaction between the GAR website and our website and our application is in sync. So if you're having a problem, it's basically going to be on the user side. And so what's important is to contact whoever you deal with for your Wi-Fi and your interface with your laptop, Mac, desktop, or phone. That's where the issue is going to be. And I hope I explained that okay. Because that is where the bulk of the challenges of accessing. It's usually on the end user side. as opposed to the GRPR interface with the GAR website. But yes, so to answer your question, I see, yeah, so a question has been asked. Peggy, I'm having trouble logging into GAR website. Can I request my password and username reset? That's the exact way to address this particular issue of accessing it. Go back to your credentials for your username and password reset. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
And
So in other words, the technical difficulties that everybody encounters should be addressed through the trouble report located in the GAR member dashboard, GAR website in the member dashboard.
Yeah, that's correct, Peggy. But again, the bulk of the problems in terms of accessing has been on the credentialing side. That's just kind of an observation that we've had.
Correct. At any time a credential login is the issue from any member, then this should be addressed directly to GAR staff so we can assist you with your credential login.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate you giving us the time. And remember, you know, I'm always available. You know, you can email me directly and I can help you with any issues that you might have, right? And again, of course, you're reporting through the GR website, but you can always send me a side message, and then you know, we can, you know, I'll try and troubleshoot and help you whenever I can, right? That's not a problem. And then if you ever want, you know, just to kind of like talk about how to use the tool and different ways you can use it, or different improvements, you know, I'm easy to find. So, you know, feel free to reach out and we can discuss it further, right? And you'll find there's a lot of synergy in everything that we're doing here. And I know the practical application, and I know how to source a lot of the data. So I can kind of be your bridge between, you know, you getting started and you fully leveraging the system to, you know, to help it make you more successful.
Very good. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Frank and Ryan.
All right. Thank you, Peggy. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you all,
Have a good day,
folks.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.